Well, good morning. That is the Volcan
De la Corona in
de la
Ye.
Corona in Ye. And that's the reason where we are. We're in the car park of Jameos del Agua. And that's the volcano that produced the Atlantida tunnel, which is the world's longest volcanic tunnel. And it runs all the way from there. Altogether, it's about 7 kilometres. The bit immediately under us is about 2 kilometres long. 7 kilometres through the Cueva de los Verdes to where we're going today, which is the Jameos del Agua. It's called the Jameos del Agua. Jameo is a hole, basically, a hole in a...
It's where the roof collapsed of the tunnel, isn't it?
Volcanic tunnel. So Cueva de los Verdes has a Jameo. This one is called Jameos del Agua, A, because it reaches as far down as the ocean and it has water in it, and B, because there are several holes or Jameos in it. Completely natural, obviously, formed in the volcanic eruptions thousands of years ago, but it was Cesar Manrique who turned it into the beautiful place it is today, just using the natural elements of it to create something a bit special. And it's there are two reasons we're here, obviously to look at the Jameos del Agua with you, and we're going to show you inside all of that. But the main thing is the newly refurbished Casa de los Volcanes, the volcano house, has reopened, and we haven't been there since, so we're really looking forward to seeing what's been done there. So let's head inside, Jules.
Okay.
These are the entrance stairs we've just come down. Tranquil music playing. This is the cafeteria. Now we're heading down the steps to the natural lagoon here, where the blind crabs live. This is fed by the ocean and is tidal.
Gradually getting cooler, isn't it, as we descend?
Yeah, something cool down here. This is where everyone used to hide from the pirates, of course, Jules.
Yeah, it is.
And it's called, this whole area is called the Green Caves, Cueva de los Verdes. This is part of that complex because a family called Verde used to live here.
And it's tidal, this bit, isn't it? There are times where
It actually
the water
floods up, yeah.
overflows, yeah.
And at the other end there of the lagoon, there's a little stage. I've done weddings there. In fact, there was one we did where it was a very high tide and the water was just lapping up to the edge of that little stage. You get a lovely reflection of the sun on the other half. So what may just look like white dots are actually the little albino blind crabs, and they're
Are
all
unique
over
to
this
here,
area.
aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, it's a unique species. And contrary to popular opinion, the swimming pool here was originally designed for people to swim in. But the reason they stopped allowing it wasn't because it was anything to do with it being only for the King of Spain. It was because chlorine needed to keep that clean started leaching into this lagoon, and they were worried it would kill off the albino crabs. You get a nice view back here from to where we just came down the steps. And there's a hole that goes up to the surface there, but it's hard to describe. It's a hot day. It's 28 degrees.
It's very ambient down here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool and comfortable. This area here is the stage where We've seen performances, and I've done
DJs
weddings and
and-
stuff like that. DJs, yeah. There's a DJ booth up there. And this was originally, Manrique's original plan for this was for it to be like a country club. It was aimed at residents rather than tourists, and you could come here at the weekend, listen to some good music, have a meal in the restaurant, and a swim in the pool and generally chill out. But of course it's much more a tourist attraction these days. It's beautifully planted down here. You can hear the birds singing, I'm sure.
Lots of bird noise as well,
Yeah.
bird song.
These are the loos. There's a big sail there for protection from the sun. This is another spot where I've done a wedding with the bride and
lovely,
groom
isn't
standing
it?
on the grass there. And there it is, the famous swimming pool with the leaning palm, subject of, I would imagine, millions of photos over the years. The side of that pool is the theatre, where there are all kinds of performances go on. We're not going to go in there because this isn't a review of Jameos del Agua. We're mainly here to have a look at the new Casa de los Volcanes. You can see how close we are to the ocean here. And if you do the premium tour here, the Insolita tour, you get your tapas in that little bit there.
You go into the back off the stage as well, don't you?
Yeah, which is really interesting. This is the main reason we're here, to have a look at the newly refurbished Casa de los Volcanes. This is the first time we've seen this, so you're enjoying it with us. Nice little indoor garden, well, not indoor, it's kind of indoor-outdoor garden there, isn't it? So this was inaugurated on the 18th of March, as it says there, by Lolly Carujo. The expression used here is that this listening station is listening to the heartbeat of the island. The real room that does that is actually buried in a secret module in Cueva de los Verdes. And these are old pieces of equipment that have come from there. So Judy's going to jump now and we're going to see what happens. There we go. You're causing a seismic disturbance, Jules. Everything's in English as well as Spanish, by the way. In this final section, there's a display of different types of rock from all over Spain. Badajoz, Granada, Malaga, Sevilla. Very cool model of the island here. With various parts of it depicted. So, for example, this is Arrecife. We've got Chaco San Inés, Castillo de San Jose, and so on. There's the southern end. This is where we are, of course, the Jameos del Agua. Little homage to Manrique in this section. A film running showing how this area was done. This is on the upper floor, by the way, where we are now. We've got some more rocks in this section. And this is the depiction of the Atlantida tunnel, the world's largest volcanic tunnel, or longest, I should say. So you've got the model there of it. That's where it starts at the volcano, and to our left is where it reaches the ocean, I guess, or is it the other way around? Quite hard to tell. Ah.
Yeah, it's the other way round. This is the Volcán de la Corona.
Which is what I was saying, so that is correct. So at this end, that's where the volcano was, and then you follow the tunnel all the way down. Different jameos. A jameo is basically a hole in the top of the lava tube. There's the Jameo de los Verdes in Cueva de los Verdes. And finally with Jameos del Agua, Jameos because there are several holes in this area, and then you go out to the ocean there. It's been dived, the full length of it now, hasn't it, Jules?
Yes.
But it took many attempts to get down there. Now they've
got the equipment these days
on
to be able to do
rebreathers,
it,
exactly, so they don't add oxygen to the water there, which would not be good. What I was saying, the Atlantida tunnel is 2,000 metres long. It's the world's longest underwater lava tube. 64 metres deep. Here's some video. I don't know whether you'll be able to see this, whether it will flicker or not. But that's of divers swimming in the tube. I always wanted to do that. But, I must admit, I find the thought quite scary of diving through there.
I think you've got to be a scientist these days, haven't you, to go down?
So in this section, people are putting on visual reality headsets, which take you into the lava tube. Absolutely massive magic book here. Can you turn the page for us, Jules? Oh, fantastic. How cool is that?
Brilliant.
What do you think, Julie? I'm really impressed.
It was always a fascinating place, to be honest. We used to like coming, didn't we? But there's so much information here now. And
way more interesting than
And
it
the
used to
technology is brilliant.
Yeah. So you've got films running it everywhere, but all sorts of interactive stuff like, I don't know what these are, for example, but I'm going to have a look. Right, it's telling us what birds there are on the island, different insect life. Great place to bring kids. There's a section there on the old salt mines, salt pans, I should say. And then the time when most of the island's income came from fishing. There's some stuff on the flora. It's really quite disconcerting. That's incredible. It's like a 4D projector. This is the corridor of mirrors. And there are mirrors in the ceiling and the floor. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but when you come here, have a look in these mirrors and see what you see. Another very cool interactive section here where you're asked to decide which pictures are from Lanzarote and which are from Mars. And it talks about the similarity between the red planet and Lanzarote.
In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have just landed on the surface of Mars.
Coming out from the Casa de los Volcanes brings you out in the bar, appropriately. Manrique's original plan, these were going to be apartments that were going to be rented out to people. That never happened, and they now house the Casa de los Volcanes and offices as well. There's one kept as a bedroom, which I know because a bride that I was doing a wedding for was able to use it and get changed in it. And finally you come out through those doors into the top part of the car park.
Yeah, it's a lower exit, isn't it, than we used to have?
Yeah. So what do you think, Jules?
I really like it. I think there's a lot of information. If you took your time in the Casa Volcanes, there's a lot to take in and do, and all touchy-feely, you know, for kids to get involved in as well.
Interactive, people can play with all kinds of stuff, so I'm really impressed with it, and I know it took a long time and it was a big investment, but my view is that it was very much worth it. I mean, I think it's a magnificent attraction anyway, even without that, but I think that really adds to it.
Adds an educational level to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So there you go, that's Jameos del Agua and the new Casa de los Volcanes on a beautiful, what is it, Monday afternoon here in Lanzarote. Have a great weekend.
Take
Bye
care.
for now.
Bye.